our heroes have secured the snek eyes needed to resurrect an ancient god. But they found themselves chased by their enemies as they fled north. Using magic to hide in the undergrowth, they managed to elude their pursuers. But have they simply stumbled onto more trouble? Things get dino-rific? On this episode of Heroes of Epic Proportions.
Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Heroes of Epic Proportions. Today, we find our heroes stuck under the ground in a bunch of root systems that Al was able to create mysteriously.
Hopefully we're not stuck.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the plants getting bored
I
of
asked
you
them
pretty
to help
quickly.
me out. I think...
How long does the spell last?
I don't remember.
Don't look it up. Lasts forever.
I was just going to talk to him again, but okay. I don't plan on casting it again.
So,
Remember us?
as the three of you are in this pit, like, you stay there for a few minutes. It doesn't seem like the plants are going to let you out until a certain amount of time has passed. Like, you could hear the snakes and everything charging outside. You could hear them walking around, but none of them ended up spotting you. As this sort of fades, about 10 minutes later, you see the root system start to retract a little bit.
That is actually the amount of time that the spell lasts, Tony.
I thought
So
so,
we're
because I'm a
sort of-
druid in another life.
We're moving up towards the surface.
Yeah, it's more just receded. You're still kind of in a pit. They're not going to fill in the dirt for you.
Right.
I guess climb out of the pit.
All right.
Hey, go look around.
Guys? So they, we might have overlooked the fact that they could find us.
Yeah, scrying. You never heard of that, dude? Good old scrying.
I might have blocked it out. It was a bad experience with some guys scrying on me in college. Wasn't fun.
As you're talking
We
about
have
this,
to cancel our credit cards.
as you're talking about all this, you see the plants kind of moving their branches in a certain direction, and the ground sort of clears out, revealing a path of dirt going deeper into the forest.
Let's go that way.
Why,
How well do
why
you know
would
these
we
plants?
go that way?
Plants have been nice so far. I don't think they like the snakes. Plant versus snack. I'm gonna go with plant. Don't we have a rate? What does the ranger say?
That,
Do you like plants or snakes?
I mean, I don't really like
Well, of course-
anybody, so...
That's true. Aren't
Ask
you,
the person
communal
who
with nature?
ranges what to do on the range, sure.
That's not what that means.
What?
Yes, it is.
I mean, I dislike plants less than I dislike snakes, so...
Oh, it's for the distances she travels while she's connoitering.
I bet she has an affinity for stupid plants. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't. Not you.
Well, you're
No,
outvoted.
you guys are awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
still
not
a
insult
bit
the
nervous,
plants.
but
As
you
you,
know
say
what?
that, the plants actually start filling in the hole behind you, and
Okay.
they even start kind of putting a wall towards where the original road was, making it so that they're trying to force you down the path a little bit harder.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight with plants. I'm going down the path.
We're literally being railroaded. Fine.
You think they're bushing us in this direction?
No, that's it. Watch. 13 more bad
That
puns
is
are
definitely
coming.
not in character, by the way.
Why?
Hi, buddy does not make puns.
I
Yeah,
could
buddy.
see Hi Buddy having like just a
Like,
sarcastic bit
what
of
if I just
punnage.
say it quietly so
I
like
think
you
we've
guys
actually-
barely hear it, but it's just to me, really, is the intent.
I think we have established that he's a smartass.
I'm sure I've made puns
Speaking
before.
of bears, you could have a bear.
Yeah, there's been puns on here. Can we really have a 13 hours
No.
of recording with Hannah without puns?
Nope.
We can have 13 hours of recording with Hannah with her barely speaking. So yes,
There have been some episodes where she spoke. It's okay.
Yeah.
that's fair. Well, I can see the way the wind is blowing here, so to speak. I guess I will go along with the plants and their plant path.
Everything is going to
Alright.
plans.
I just made that one!
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Oh, I
Sort of.
turned you guys down like as low as I can so my mic doesn't pick you up.
Is that part of the problem? When are you gonna ever respond to us? Alright.
All right, so as you guys walk
think we're
down the
following the
path,
plans.
you could hear sticks breaking around you, but you don't really see anything. And you kind of come to a giant clearing, and you see a huge square stone structure at the bottom of a valley. All the trees have been cleared out from it, and it looks like it's kind of separated into small quadrants.
We're here.
So there's like there's 4 big pieces. You said quadrants. I'm assuming 4.
It's actually less quadrants. It's more like there's a giant square, like with probably 15-foot stone walls, and then a bunch of smaller squares within it.
Oh, so it's like a maze-looking thing.
Not quite. It looks like it's just
village?
very well organized. Like they're open areas, like a courtyard or something like that, inside of all the squares. In the very center, you can see a very large circular body of water, and it looks like there's a bunch of buildings spread throughout on the inside.
Is it a
I'm
town?
just gonna, I guess, do a perception roll here. Oh, I got a 3. So.
You are not perceptive or good with the old memory. Alzheimer's is setting in early for Trevino.
You notice that
Where are
there's a
my
bug
dice?
on a leaf next to you.
I got a box and everything for my dice, and now I misplaced the box. All right.
Yeah, I'm down to like not that many dice anymore. I have no idea where they all went.
Your son's eating them. 19
just
for my
enough.
perception.
All right, so as you look out over this giant city, you see a pteranodon fly over the top of you, screeching. And it's flying back.
I mean, I guess I don't see it, but I'm still looking at the bug.
It screeches and it starts flying towards the city. The path is opening up. Like, you can see that the path in front of you is actually going to a larger, moderately well-kept road.
There's a freaking dinosaur land?
Trefina doesn't have to skip anymore, but she does. She skips right down that path into Dinosaur Land.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not following the plants now. That didn't change.
All right, so as you guys get a little bit closer to the front area of this, you end up seeing somebody come out from the woods behind you, and they are a furbolg. No.
Oh, I know these things.
Furbolg. A furbolg is a type of giantkin. It's basically just a very, very large humanoid. Generally, they're really good with plants. They're like, kind of like half-giant type characters.
Hello!
Hi!
Hello.
Are these your dinosaurs?
As like you see this guy wave at you and he's just getting very excited. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe that we found you just in time. Like, it took a lot of druid work to get you over here, but thank you guys for coming. Like, you have to check this place out. We've got this park for you right here, and like I want you guys to know that this place, like, we've been building this for so long, and for some reason, like, I think the drugs are keeping our patrons from coming in."
I need to know about this park that you built with dinosaurs in it. How much expense have you spared?
We spared a lot of expense because we were trying to keep it under budget. As you can
smart,
imagine,
actually. I respect that.
there's a lot of complicated costs associated with having a dinosaur park.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
What?
I'm making a Jurassic Park reference. I don't know
I
what you guys
understand that.
But we've heard from some of our people that you guys have actually stopped a little bit of this snake action, and I just wanted to give you guys free admittance to the park. I figure having some celebrities come in might actually help attendance, you know?
we're
Oh,
celebrities.
sweet. We're celebrities now. You
And-
guys.
How did this happen?
And just so you know, like, we will cover like your admittance and everything that you need in the park, except for the inn, the tavern, the gift shop, and anything other than the water fountains.
But then that's just admittance.
Well, that's what you say.
Look a gift horse in the mouth, you guys.
I don't know. What?
That's
I tell
You're
you
not
what,
a gift dinosaur.
I'll give you some gift vouchers for some Suds Light. It's not a very good beer, but it's
Hey,
I snatched the gift vouchers.
Suds Light?
cheap beer is good beer.
Like bathwater? Or
As long as it's cold, for Trefina's good.
oh, beer has Suds. You know, it's like a bath, but it gets you drunk.
Have you not seen Django Unchained, where they fill it up and there's the foam and he does the phone off the top and then taps the thing and it looks really cool?
Yeah. Also,
like that.
I saw Django once. That was a really good play.
What the hell?
I like this hat. Trefino is all on board. He's like,
so should we
there
just kill
was
this guy, or
horrible play and those terrible people riding snakes that are heading towards the city that's been ravaged by plague. But this guy has free admittance to Dinosaur Park.
Do you know of the Knights of Tillamere?
Oh, the shields? I
Yes.
noticed that you guys were shields, and he walks over and actually like pushes the shield button on your crest, and it causes the
Do
shield
that.
to pop
That's
up in
what
front of
it's
you.
Today.
It's so pretty, though. I mean, look at it.
Well,
You just
that's
have
it for
this
today.
glowing
Thanks.
shield like right in front of you, like it looks exactly
Yeah.
like the shields.
Now I'm shielded. Thanks.
Does it hold on for a little bit? And you're walking around with the holographic shield in front of him?
It lasts for 6 seconds, so like
It's like when you ult and spawn. I want to see the dinosaur park. I'm a little concerned about the whole gods coming to life thing, but
it's just a day, and plus you guys are still running from those guys. Like, I mean, we did save your life.
Oh, that was you. I thought that was the short thing.
No, you really think that a bard has enough power to do that?
We did.
Like he walks over towards one of the palm trees and like just basically puts his hand up and it starts like gently caressing him. He gets this look in his eye that's kind of thirsty and it's a little bit twisted, but you know. And he's like, I don't think you realize that bards just like they might be able to flutter some leaves or anything, but they're best talking to people, not to these plants.
Well, yeah, I didn't think they had it in them.
Yeah.
Her.
I thought she had some sort of special powers, though.
I mean, singing's kind of powerful if you actually have lyrics. What I'm
Okay,
saying
now I'm
is,
starting. You know what? You guys can't be nice to me. Just take
I
my
think you're
ball
allowed
and
to
go
talk
home.
to plants and not actually have them build a road for us and suck us into the root system.
It was a bizarre coincidence. Then is the thing.
How about that?
Yeah.
he takes a moment and he actually hands you guys a little map. There was a problem sending this file. 1 second.
That's a weird map.
I love that part.
That's all it says. It's just.
It's like Disneyland, but for computer nerds.
It's like they set it off to
right,
kink
there
us,
it
but
went.
there was a mix-up.
So
The Office Depot had a derp.
he hands you a map with everything, and he goes and hits a lever, and these giant doors open to the Dino Pavilion.
Does he say it?
It says, "Welcome to the Dino Pavilion." Copyright. As it points at all of you in the face.
I mean, you saved us.
Trademark.
We are
Actually,
running.
not copyright.
Wait, I'm
We can
looking
use a
at my
place to
map
sleep.
here.
Trofini's going in anyway.
So do we get a map to walk around this place in?
Yeah,
or-
like everybody got a map. He just handed
Okay.
you guys all maps. And as you walk into this place, you see a very large inn that's meant to look like it's out of a rock face. It looks very well carved. And around you, you just see this sort of sandstone walls. You see off in the distance all these enclosures and everything. And you can hear or you can see pterodons and various birds flying overhead. Like there's just so much action going around. But all you see is kind of dust blowing in the streets. There's not really anybody visiting. You can see a lot of booths that are attended by people who look very, very bored.
So the entrance is at the bottom of this map here?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. You
All right.
walk in towards the hotel.
Trufina makes a beeline for the Ankylosaurus pen.
Now, since dinosaurs turned into birds and Trofinius hates birds, is there any hatred
Oh,
here?
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, she's not cool with the...
The aviary?
Well, yeah, so Tony said there's pterodons and, like, other birds. I don't think there's feathers on the Ankylosaurus. They haven't taken that away from me yet.
No. I mean, I could have done that for the Allosaurus or something like that, but I didn't imagine these as feathered.
Wait a minute, there's a water park?
There is a water park.
All right, we can chill here for a day. That sounds fine with me. I'm going to go kick it at the water park and do some water slides.
All right, so you guys going to separate?
I'm if people
Unfortunately,
aren't
those
going
words
to the Ankylosaurus pen with me,
No, it's
we are gonna
not a
separate.
problem to separate. It's just like I need to know because we got to go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
babysit Trofina.
All right, so you guys head over to the Ankylosaurus
Come on, hi, buddy.
pens, and they're actually
That is
very large
adorable.
enclosures, like more than you would expect, because any zoo you've seen is like literally iron bars and a jaguar like barely able to stand up. So
Like
these are
pinned
actually
down.
well curated, like nice pens, and not that far from the actual barrier. You can see a couple of ankylosaurs walking around, just chewing the cud, doing their thing.
well,
I
you
wonder how they're
know,
able to afford all of this if there's no visitors.
they spared a
Yeah.
lot of expense. Stop.
But like
looking.
all of these
clearly-
animals, I imagine, have to eat every single day, and if there's no visitors, and they're also paying employees.
Furblog says, as he follows you guys over there, well, we have an endowment for a little while, but like this is why we're trying to get celebrity endorsements. You guys are kind of getting well known around here.
Well, you've already.
There was
where
a
do I
bard that
sign
came
up?
through here a little while
I
back.
will
named-
be on. I will be on TV.
There's a bard who came through here the other day named Finn that was just singing about you killing snakes and doing all sorts of other stuff. So, like, we figured if we had the chance, we'd grab you. That's why we've been following you for a little bit.
Our legend grows.
Whee!
By the way, that's me.
All right, so cut
You're still
over
just
to the
like
water
walking
park.
over there. You're not even at the
Yes.
park yet.
That's the song of my people, and I must sing it as I walk towards the water park.
Cut over to the water park, and basically it's a very large pavilion with a lazy river. There's some slides. You see
I
a
love a lazy
very greasy gnome, like literally covered in grease, not like Italian grease.
Oh gosh.
Like he's just sitting there and he's like hammering away at some
Just uncalled
pumps.
for.
He's hammering away at a bunch of pumps, and he's just making sure everything's maintained. Like the water looks like it's just very fresh. There's even like a natural spring over in one area that looks like it's a little bit gunky, but that's what people want from their natural spring.
I was excited for the slides, but the lazy rivers. I'm gonna grab a Suds Light and hit the lazy river.
All right, so you do that.
Yes.
I would say
I'm
you
happy.
you need to put some sunscreen on, but I don't think you have to worry about it like a sunburn as a tiefling.
I am a tiefling, sir. I do not have to. I am resistant to fire, frankly. This is my jam.
What's the? Is Joe just going to be on the thing for a while, or
Yeah, I assume so. Like
what's the layout of this pen that I'm looking at?
like I said, it's very well covered in trees, in foliage. It's very thickly grown. You can see for
is there
a
like
block
a downward? Like, is it a pit kind of a pen?
It's a little bit below, like it's probably like 10 feet below. You can see Furblog, he's kind of looking over and he waves his hand and it regrows the grass for the Ankylosaurus.
Hey,
That's right.
Furblog, can I, I've been to some zoos, alright? And none of them were as awesome as this, okay, clearly, but you can't tell me there's no way to feed these dinosaurs out of my hand, right? Like, this is my dream.
Oh, we might be able to make a special exception for you.
I can
wouldn't
cast
recommend-
animal friendship, Furblog. If that is your name.
I wouldn't recommend
what
going
he
into the
is.
Triceratops pen. Like, we
Isn't
got a lot of cool things here. We got
Furbolg?
Triceratops, we got Quadriceps, or Ceratops. We got a rhino around here somewhere for people who just like one horn. Some people are just into that.
What kind of park is this?
I mean, we got
Not
horns.
going there.
But we also have, we got teeth, we got like we got these guys with clubs over here. I want to say that I think we can manage that. Do you have a way of getting down there? Because we can get a ladder for you if you want, but if you got like safe fall or you think you can make that 10-foot drop, I'll let you down
I've got
there.
Featherfall, yeah. I'll throw that on.
Are these guys even safe? Like, are they aggressive?
I'm already jumping.
The
Dagnabbit.
Ankylosaurs are not. Like they're well fed, so they're not going to be that aggressive. I wouldn't recommend this in the Allosaurus pit.
I cast Featherfall and jump down.
All right.
All right. Well, I have a feather cloak, so I should be able to follow after.
Yeah, you can just jump
That's true.
down. Like you don't even have to use
Hopefully
a
I'm
spell
not
slot.
stuck down here forever.
No.
I
way to
Trifina
babysit
touches
there,
down, just
hi,
like, I did not think this through that well.
Furblog says he's going to go get the ladder to help you guys out, but he goes off to the inn and
Okay.
gift shop while you guys walk around with the Ankylosaurs. The Ankylosaurs come up to you and they actually start sniffing your hand. Like one seems like he's a little bit bigger than the rest, and he seems a little bit aggressive, but he's not doing anything yet. And basically, this one comes up to you and like is just sniffing.
I have a question.
All right.
Is Furblog the what he is or his name?
A minute, Furbolg?
I messed that up. His name is Adrin. Adrin Fedara.
Fedora?
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I feel bad for calling him
Yes.
his race now.
You've been
You called him Furbolg, and I just went along with it because
Sorry,
I don't know anything about
Furbolg
D&D.
sounds like
Hey,
something's name.
Caucasian!
Yeah.
All right, so he gets back to the pen and he's like, "Gnome, take this
I have
ladder."
to shut my door because my gnomes have opened them and let in the sound from outside. One moment.
Oh, gnome!
There's two.
I help.
My apologies. Wow, that got loud all of a sudden.
How dare you?
Sorry, continue, Tony.
All right, so basically you've got that there, and you can reach down and try to feed it some grass or try to touch it or whatever. Try it.
I like real gentle, right? Palm up and everything, like real quiet. I go up to the aggressive, the bigger one. Because Trevina needs a challenge, right? And just
Always
like,
going
has
for
a
the
little-
bigger one, that Trifina.
Hey, the bigger ones are female. And
You missed the penis
hand
joke.
out. I extend some grass towards he or she, as the case may be.
All right, I want you to make an animal handling check.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
What's the addition for that one?
I believe that would be charisma. It
That's
should be
11.
All right, I'm going to allow that. There was
It's
basically
wisdom.
50-50 on this. So, like, it sniffs your hand and basically takes the leaves and kind of turns its back towards you, like brandishing the club while it eats. But it doesn't seem to be that mad at you. It's just being a little bit
I
standoffish.
respect that. That's fine with me.
Meanwhile, one of the other ones comes up and actually starts nudging you, like, on the cheek. It was going to be the hip, but you're, like, 3 foot tall.
I definitely am, like, more grass and, like, just rubbing all over that face.
All right, what are you doing,
this
hi,
is
buddy?
my dream come true. What'd you say? I didn't hear what you asked me.
I asked, what are you doing, hi, buddy?
I'm just watching him and feeling kind of anxious because I could see that things are being aggressive.
All right. Oh,
So basically just babysitting.
Put the bow down! Do not shoot her!
When you get out, I'll put the bow down.
Oh, well, you know what? There are other dinosaurs to see, so, bye, beautiful animals. I'll always love you. I'm gonna go and see some other ones, though.
All right,
You're
so
my first choice forever.
cut to
I mean,
the water
you can
park.
hang out. I just don't like you touching them because we don't know what they do. They might not
They'd
be
be
used to
awesome.
people.
They are vegetarians.
They'd be awesome, hi, buddy. That's what you don't understand.
And for
Yeah,
those
but-
of you that don't know, like, Al, describe an ankylosaurus.
So it's like the best turtle that you've ever seen. All right, it's like a turtle, but it's huge. Okay, and then it moves faster than a turtle probably, and off of its shell, right, is not just a regular shell. Like there's spikes sticking off of it, and then you know how turtles kind of just end at the back, and you're like, man, I wish there was more of that. Well, with an ankylosaurus, there absolutely is. All right, just keeps going for a bit, and then at the very end, there's like a big old tail with just these like knobbly ball things at the end that are club that it can just whack stuff with if it wants to.
That was the
Saw
best
Jurassic
possible
World, it's the thing
description.
that fought the Indominus during the ball rolling scene.
That's why I let Al describe it. I intentionally added those just for you, Al.
Thank you.
I had to go find homebrew on the stats just in case it went sour. All right, so now we cut back to the water park, and a tiefling in a black bathing suit comes up and dives into the lazy river and sits on a tube next to you. She says, "Hey, I'm Damika."
I am immediately suspicious of this entire park.
Oh, now you are?
Yeah.
Finally finding out where they're making their money.
I think you have. I think you might have. That might be a personal issue, Joe. That you can't accept.
This is suddenly too good to be true land. I say hi. What do you do here?
Oh, I'm one of the tamers. I go out into the woods and actually like go after these dinosaurs and bring them back.
Okay, then. I'm like, can I detect magic? Do I have that? Super
Do you have
suspicious all of a
flirt?
sudden.
Is that a thing that
Listen,
you have? You're the most
you
suspicious
whore.
person I've ever heard. All of a sudden,
Some
there's a
of
lady.
us are a little concerned about the everything else we've been dealing with and what the hell is going on.
She takes the beer out of your hand and starts to drink it.
Some sort of
Rude.
magic thing.
She says, or she does it very suggestively.
All right, you know, that's not.
You know, Adrin told me all about you.
Yeah, you just took my beer though.
Oh, there's plenty more of this. I'll even get you a real beer.
This is a real beer.
It's just
Are you
so
saying
light.
this is a fake beer?
It just doesn't taste like
I'm
anything.
not having this conversation in meta, in character, with you out of character as a woman. This is too weird.
Especially because I'm not doing a woman's accent or a voice.
Yes,
I don't have a woman's
the
voice. My
accent.
voice
Feet
does
will
not
come
work
over
for
there
that.
and flirt all day long.
I'm aware of this. I've
I'm
suddenly
sure.
become very fearful for our lives.
What are you afraid of? We had everything's safe here. We got these dinosaurs on lock.
Yeah. How do you do that, by the way? Is it? I did actually want to ask this. Metal bars, magic? Is any magic involved in the keeping of the dinosaurs?
It's a little bit of everything. Like there's some barriers on some of the more dangerous dinosaurs. Most of them are vegetarian, so it's not really that big of a deal. We just keep them really fat. And
That doesn't
like
sound healthy.
we are part of this like circle of the scale druids, so we've got a fair bit of magic to keep them kind of tame.
Circle of the Scale. What's that?
It's just a group of druids. You
I
know,
want my beer
there's
back,
like
by the way.
Circle of the Moon, there's Circle of
Yeah,
this,
yeah. Hand
Circle
over
of
the
that.
beer and talk.
Okay. So
Thank
she hops out of the water and she brings back 3 beers. You don't know why there's 3, but she just has them.
Now this is getting weird.
You gonna bring a friend or?
She just knows she's gonna out drink man with.
All right, you know, maybe I don't drink for drunkenness or something. Sometimes I just drink to be alone. And that's how that goes. Although I keep waking up with new powers and it's weird.
I remember my teenage years.
Yeah, that's a thing. Listen, you don't know where I've been. Also, it's great that they hired you and all, being a tiefling. I've found that people hate me.
Yeah, but whenever you're a druid, it doesn't really matter as much so long as you're into preservation. That's what we're into at this park.
Preservation.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Just had an idea as to what's going on.
I'm way too freaked out here.
All right, so we cut back to
I
Hi Buddy.
bail. I absolutely am like, I have to go find my friends, by the way, because I mean we do have to bring these giant snake eyeballs back to the bikinis.
The place with the thing, yeah.
Yeah, that.
So you actually got the. Why can't I remember?
Did I
what
say
those
snake
eyes are
eyeballs?
called?
I meant letter.
I think that was out of character.
Yeah, I was just trying to make awkward conversation. Anyway,
That was awkward.
so Damika just kind of waves at you as you go away. Like she's kind of got a
fantastic.
grin on her face because she enjoyed making you uncomfortable.
I'm alive. That's good enough for me right now. I'm immediately like, guys, I don't know
I'm
how
over
to
by the
shark or how big this is.
plesiosaur cage. Pen.
Would you like to describe plesiosauruses to us? Actually, don't
Or
know
the
this
Loch
one.
Ness Monster, guys. I think everyone knows
Alright.
what a plesiosaur looks like.
All right, so as you get over there, this is the one pen that is a little bit more deeper set. It's about 15 feet of wall going into this kind of oasis setting underneath the water. And as you guys walk up to this, you hear some weird bells ringing, and Adrin comes up and is like, "It's feeding time!" And basically all of a sudden these pterosaurs come flying in from above, making a perfect circle, and they just start dropping huge fish into the lake in front of you, and the single plesiosaur, who looks really lonely and sad, is just going after the fish.
Oh man.
I'm like, hey, hi, buddy.
Trifina's sad.
Remember when we put a bow in Trifinia's hair? Do you have a bow?
No?
for her
Does
hair?
not make any sense?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh!
Maybe that should be something
I'm
that's handy.
supposed to-
Do you have that handy?
Supposed to kill something now. Okay, yep. Yeah,
Do
I mean,
not
I've had
shoot
it at
the
one.
plesiosaur!
I'm just saying, it would be... We might need to real
just a
quickly
I've had it out
do
this
Trifinia's
entire
hair in a
time.
bow. Okay, that's good to know. That's
Have you ever known, first of all,
always
Joe,
ready to
why
kill
are you,
Trifina,
tell me
but...
Sorry, not Joe. I'm very sorry.
hell's
I'm
Joe?
bad
Yeah,
with role-playing.
he's joking.
First of all, Manvith, why are you so on edge? What happened?
This place is a little weird.
Perfect? Was that what you were gonna say?
It's a little perfect. And
Yeah.
no one's here.
Yeah.
As you say that, you see two lizard men walking up to the plesiosaur thing, watching this happen, and you can kind of overhear their conversation. They look like they're a bit on the scale, too. Like, they're getting weird scales growing on their scales, and they're just having this conversation. They're like, "Man, do you think we're really related to these things?" And the other one's like, "No, man, we were crafted by God." And the other one's like, "I don't know, man. I think that it's pretty close. It's like whenever humans look at apes." They just have this philosophical discussion for a while looking at the plesiosaur.
Who the hell are these guys?
They're just
Who the hell are
patrons.
you? Oh, so two people.
Yeah.
You're really covering your overhead there, Furbin.
I'm gonna go talk to
My
these
name
guys.
is Adrian, by the way.
Adrian. The last name I was trying to go for Fedora or something. Fedora?
Fedara.
Fedora.
Yeah. Mm.
I go over to these guys who are by the plesiosaur thing. It's like, hey, what do you guys, what brings you guys to the park?
They had some coupons, man. I'm trying to get off the scale, and I figured I with the extra money, I'd go do something fun and get away from town for a little bit.
All right, man. Yeah, you gotta live life. That's the real drug. Isn't this great?
This voice.
I'm Trifina, by the way. I'm trying to do higher pitched voice, so it's a character voice, guys. Like, give me a
got
break.
that.
Now I'm saying this in character for some reason. I'm still Trifina.
What's
You may have heard of me.
I mean, that's why we're here. We're on a break.
Yeah.
A break from what?
And they just kind of they put out their tongues real quick, just tasting the air, and they're like, from the scale, we told you that already.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant something else. That's cool.
And, with their dead lizard eyes, they just stare at you.
Making friends. Left and right.
All right.
What's your,
Trifina
do you
talking
guys
about getting-
have names? It's cool if you don't. It's cool if somebody who made you up didn't think of your names. I want to go out to the nursery now.
All right, so
Bye!
I also want on record, whenever Trafina talks about being high on life, that Manvith needs a drink more than anything is more than he's ever needed one in his life.
well, there is a stand next to you with a very, very, very bored-looking human just sitting there, just wanting to do something. So if you want a drink, there are plenty of places to get drinks, plenty of beer gardens around.
I'm very confused. But there's just the two lizards.
Yeah, there's a lot of people working here, but there's not a whole lot of like actual visitors.
I don't understand what you're hung up about, Joe. It's not well attended. They need us to endorse
It's a
them.
dinosaur park. You being this happy about it sort of doesn't ring with no one being...
I mean, I get, okay, out of character, I 100% get that, like, it's a game and something bad has got to happen at some point, but I don't, like, Trafina's not going to
I'm
be...
aware of that, but Manvith is... I mean, I'm pretty suspicious, if you haven't noticed, and have been the entire...
What's the nursery
campaign.
like, Tony?
All right, so you get to the nursery, and in, like, what is it? Adrin is following you in. It's getting a little bit weird how much they're shadowing you, but
Yeah?
like whenever you get in there, you see a lot of different nests, and there's kind of these flaming, just little suspended flaming balls keeping things warm. And the biggest one you actually see is a few T-Rex eggs, and they're just like sitting there, just giant, and like I'm not sure how big those eggs would be. I'm thinking pretty good size. And then in a little cage next to that, you see a bunch of little compies, like just little green ones. And Adrin walks up, puts his hand in the cage, and pulls one of the little compy type lizards out.
Trafina, like, is not about that. Compies are the worst. Trafina, like, shrinks into the corner away from the compy. No. It reminds her a lot of birds, and she's not into birds.
And Adrin's like, you went up and touched something that weighs 3,000 pounds, but you're afraid of this, and like basically shoves this little like pound-and-a-half compy at you.
Hold on a second. Trafina's not okay with this.
All right.
I'm looking for a spell or something.
Can I just,
What are
like,
you guys
slap
doing?
their hands away?
Are you in the nursery?
I mean, I'm now sticking with the group, yes.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
following.
You
Who
notice
is it shoving this thing in his face?
it's not like shoving like hardcore. It's just kind of reaching his hand out with a lizard in his hand, or with a little dinosaur.
So, Fedora?
Adrin.
What is it?
Fedora. Adrin Fedora.
Fedora. Mr. Fedora.
Mr.
This
Manwith.
is this is all natural. What you're doing here.
Yeah,
This is the way things should be, huh?
Yes, we're trying to get some of the life that was taken from this forest and put it back. The people really that were living here did not get along with the dinosaurs, especially the predators. We haven't even been able to find any Brontos for a while. Like we really want to restore what this forest used to be.
Inside this building.
Well, that's part of what we're doing. We have to hatch them and then get them prepared to go
Yeah,
back
so
to
when
the
are you
wild.
letting them out?
What's that?
When are you letting them out?
The nursery, we actually let them out a bit earlier. We just have to keep some of the bigger ones around to, get funding so we can keep this thing growing and put more dinosaurs back in the wild.
Detect thoughts.
He just told us his thoughts.
You're the one who's all suspicious here.
I think I figured it out.
Okay, I guess I don't cast detect
You
thoughts.
can take as you want. That's fine. Cast what you want.
I cast detect thoughts on our giant furry friend here.
All right. Is there a will check or anything for that?
For the duration, I can read the thoughts of certain creatures. Any one creature I can see within range. If it has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, it's unaffected.
All right.
There's not a.
Is there a DC save or anything?
As an action, not according to what I'm reading here.
All right. So you clearly hear the thought, "Oh God, I hope they don't notice that the Tyrannosaurus eggs are just rocks."
Now I'm back to being a little confused.
I mean, you don't hear that, Joe, because you haven't cast detect thoughts.
Right. Of course not.
But Trafina then instantly looks over. By the way, I was looking for this. It doesn't. Oh wait, the target knows that you are probing into its mind unless you shift your attention. If it succeeds. I was looking for this earlier, and I didn't see it earlier when I was reading. The target knows that you're probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends.
All right, so now that you've detected thoughts
Right.
and they notice that you detected thoughts, if you want to
Right.
keep detecting thought, you have to beat me in an intelligence roll.
Plus, it knows you're reading his mind.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I was
try to
hoping that
resist.
I didn't read that earlier.
Playful banter wasn't gonna work. So yeah, just probe into their skull. That's good.
All right. So roll a d20. We're going head to head on an intelligence check.
Oh, I've got everything I wanted, but okay. I got a. I assume I add wisdom to that, or add intelligence.
That's intelligence.
I got a 19.
Yes, you add wisdom to the intelligence check now.
All right, so that was a 21.
I haven't added intelligence to anything yet.
That was a 21 for me, so you can't read any more thoughts.
Rafina gets like real embarrassed. She says, I know that was rude. I thought it was too good to be true, and I guess it is a little bit, but they're still great. Could you take that copy out of my face, please?
I don't know. Should I? Like you could tell
yes,
that
you should.
Or Adrin is very agitated with having been probed.
I'm really agitated at having a bird lizard stuck in my face.
Yeah, also, we just realized that you've been deceived.
Yeah, how about, any indication, you want to clue us into any of that, Al? Al?
Just
Adrin
look at the
walks over
Tyrannosaurus eggs, guys.
Well,
I don't like your custom, I'm starting to, I love the idea here, but the customer service is a little bit lacking.
Well,
I'm going to go with perception.
Adrin
Whoa! Natural 20, as I'm looking at the eggs.
All right,
I'm
so
guessing, I now know this too.
you notice that it's a very fine, like it definitely looks like an egg, but if you look closely, it's slightly porous in some sections where it was sanded and there was just imperfections in the stone. So you notice that it is definitely a forged egg.
Yeah.
Adrin walks over to the tank and puts the compy back in.
Why would they fake the eggs?
Well, that's the thing about everybody wants the big tooth dinosaurs, and like we have a hard time preserving them, and we've got a mated pair here, and we're just really trying to get them to mate. And until that point, it's a little bit hard to convince people that we actually have preservation going on if there aren't eggs in the nursery. You'll notice that like everything but the allosaurs, the T-Rexes, and the plesiosaur, because we actually did have one egg from that one out there, but it was not viable and it didn't hatch. The rest are real.
Listen, we're cool with the, we understand that it requires a certain amount of showmanship to put a park on or whatever, but I guess I'm more, just read the room. Don't be
What else are
shoving
you
things in
lying
people's
about?
face.
Oh, I guarantee you the rest of the park is up to board.
Well, you said, okay. I know you want to bring people in. Is there anything we can do to help you with this T-Rex situation you've got going on? Because I will get in there and manipulate some T-Rex stuff, if you know what I mean.
I mean, if you really want to practice some animal husbandry, we can take your application and see if you're qualified.
I mean, I do have bigger. I was just wondering if there was like a quickie thing that I could help out with. I do have to move on eventually. You realize, otherwise I can't spread the word about this great park.
Oh, I understand that, and I appreciate you thinking of us, but I'm not sure that a bard has the skills to get people to actually, hook up.
Bards have the best skills for getting people to hook up,
Well,
sir.
how about animals?
Animals? Maybe not so much.
We're druids. Like we kind of handle this. We're trying to make the mojo happen.
I don't know. I'm trying to progress the plot. I'm gonna go look at the Tyrannosaurus.
How about this? We're
now.
about 15 minutes away from the T-Rex show, and let's go see if we can get that going. And then you can see if you want to really climb in there with them.
Yes. I have to tie my boot. I will catch up with you. Do you have to tie your boot also? Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm.
Oh
tying
man, my
both of
boot
mine
also came untied.
at the same
Get the hell out
time.
of here, Trifina. Okay, we all have to tie our boots.
Trifina actually does have an untied boot, but she leaves. There's so many laces.
Well,
this
now that all
point-
three of us are tying our boots, the guy has no reason to walk ahead, so that went well.
At this point,
GG, Trifina.
Yeah.
At this point, Damako walks in and she's carrying a few eggs from the Pteranodon and puts them under the thing. And she's like, "Oh, I know a thing or two about knots if you want me to help out."
Yeah. Listen, freak
She's
show.
saying she's naughty.
That's 4.
I wink at her.
She looks at you and she says, "Aw, I only date people taller than me."
Oh.
I'm trying to
What
think of
the
a
hell?
good comeback, but I don't have one. Trifina's just sad now.
I'm sad that I have to babysit Trifina. Okay, I guess we're all walking together now. Hang on a second. I might have something.
Don't you have like a not a whisper, but like speak
That's what I'm
silently
looking for.
spell?
Dun 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 dun. I don't know.
Okay.
You?
I think I do. I haven't had cause to use it yet. I have clairvoyance. An invisible. That's an invisible sensor from a place familiar to me, so I can just see stuff, sort of like a CCTV thing. It looks like.
Hi, buddy.
I
What
thought
are
there
you
was
doing while they
a
figure
quiet
this
talk
out?
thing.
What?
What?
I asked what you were doing
message.
while they were looking up spells.
Like in real life or in the thingamabobber?
In the game.
What's this called? It's called a game. That's the magic word.
Thingamabobber.
I can't think.
I mean, I'm just kind of like looking at people to shoot and trying to follow people's lead. I definitely don't want to help anybody, like in the park.
God forbid.
Rufina's got all her. She's got her eyes on the exits and like.
Yeah,
always
like as soon
looking
as
for-
I realized I've been deceived, I want nothing to do with anybody here, and I'm fine with just leaving and letting everybody,
They're
fail.
just rock eggs.
But
Rufina,
I
why don't you skip on
highly
ahead to the
doubt that's
T-Rex?
the only thing he's lying about. What are the odds that that's the
Adrian-
only thing?
Adrian looks at you and says, I need some feedback here, guys. If I just put that these are display eggs to show how big T-Rex eggs are, would that make it better for future
Display eggs.
people?
No, I think. Listen, don't spoil the illusion for the kids.
Trifenia, why don't you go on up to the T-Rex thing?
All
I
right,
mean, I
that's a
think-
good idea.
Yes. Hi,
Message
buddy.
is the spell, by the way. It's like a cantrip for me.
Oh, well, you're our best decoy. And I
Well,
want to
also,
talk to Hi,
there's
buddy.
I don't have any reason to use message in game.
And you're
so
oblivious, yes.
I'm not gonna call you and be like, "What did you want to tell me?" Because that wouldn't make any sense from a role playing
wouldn't.
perspective.
This has been the longest... Can I get a minute alone with someone to talk out my thoughts?
Like 20 minutes of tying boots.
All right,
Yes.
so Adrian takes Trifenia and they go towards the Tyrannosaurus paddock.
Okay.
I make up a little tune on the way. I've got my.
Shut up! I want to talk to Hi, buddy. Oh my god!
Sensing some hostility in the room.
How are you not sensing the 48 hints that I'd like to talk to Hi, buddy that I gave before this?
I thought you were just coming on to me. It's weird because I like you as a friend, but I mean we've spent too much time together to.
Hi, buddy. You had sort of a scared moment a while back, I think. Maybe.
Just my theory as to exactly what's happening keeps changing.
Me too.
Because there was,
Did he say that they released these things out of the park?
I mean, there is something that they mentioned releasing. I thought that they mentioned putting emphasis on preservation, though, and I was wondering
Yeah.
if that meant that if there is some magic in here, what else it might be affecting.
Also a good
So
point.
my immediate
I
thought
sort
was
of-
that everyone is actually like 80 years old, but they're using some sort of magic to make everything look younger if they can't like
Okay.
sustain any species. So they're just like trying to keep everything that they do have young. But
I'm worried they're just releasing these things into the wild because that's what these nutcases believe in.
yeah.
That's what preservation means, is bringing this whole area back to the...
I mean, I'm fine with just
Jurassic-
leaving because I feel deceived and I don't think that I can expect anybody here, to be honest. So I'm fine to just go. Just let him
Danica,
do
who's
whatever
been
they're
standing in the room the whole time, says, yeah, that's what preservation's about.
Yes. Hi.
Hi,
Didn't you go running off?
what's up?
I was just tending to the eggs. I didn't mean to eavesdrop.
Uh-huh. Well, that's rude. Also, you're crazy. And you can't release man-eating dinosaurs into the wild.
It's about the balance, and that's what we're about. Like,
How many
so-
towns
wait a
used to be in
second,
this
you're
area?
sending these
Save
things to
lions and
kill
stuff all the
people.
time in real life.
There was a lot of
How many-
talking there. It's amazing how far that little gnome's voice will carry.
I'm arguing out of character now.
How many towns used to be in this area?
Well, all the walled ones are pretty safe. It serves them
Yeah.
right for trying to be in the jungle, though.
They're killing people with the dinosaurs is what they're hinting at.
Was that in character, or was that a thought?
No, I'm just saying that. I don't
Yeah.
care what these people think.
Oh,
They're
surely
killing
some-
people with dinosaurs.
We're not
Yeah.
we're not directly killing anybody. If a dinosaur needs food, it needs food.
There you go. I was like, how are they feeding them? You're like, oh, they have some money put away. They spared some expenses because they were doing this. No, they're killing people. I was right about one thing.
Danica actually says, "Look, we're druids. We can conjure food," and like basically waves her hand, and like a bunch of just kind of raw meat appears.
Is that actually worth anything, though? Is there actually protein and calories in that, or is it just an illusion to make you feel better?
I mean, if you want to try it, you can.
No, I'm fine not putting anything that you people make in my mouth. I think that you're killing people with dinosaurs and trying to do...
Yes.
What?
Look, we once contracted with what the hell's that city's name? We've contracted with people before to take their prisoners and kill people, but that's just because it was a good substitute for hanging.
I'm out.
Okay, is everybody cool if I just start headshotting everybody and we dope out? Alright, well, good night.
Well,
You're just gonna shoot these people?
I would love that. I hate this place.
I just want to
It's
get her
evil.
done. Is everything fine if I just, like, headshot this person?
I mean,
My
I'm
only-
not on scene, so I can't stop you.
All right,
but
only
Trevina's
concern would be
before that happens, because
clapping
of
and
where
waiting for the
this-
Tyrannosaurus show to start.
Because of what's happening here, we're going to cut over to Trafina because we don't have time to do that in this particular episode. We
has,
can,
like,
we can
T-Rex-
consider our
T-Rex hat
decisions for
on.
next week.
She's got
I've
a
got my
sparkler in one
my
hand.
wicker finger out, and I'm waving it for the T-Rex.
All right, so
I know you
Shrieks
forgot
of
that I
death
had
in the
that, but I
distance.
didn't.
No, you threw it away.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
But I collected it after I threw it down.
I don't think so. You lit it on fire and then threw it, I think.
somebody needs to review the tapes.
I did not cross it out in my book.
However,
if I did,
there is a booth that's selling wicker fingers, among other things. Not too
sure,
far
yeah,
from
okay.
here. They're all about the
I have
merch.
a wicker finger. Like, give me this, and I'm waving
I
it around.
pictured like
Alright.
an ice cream cone and a sparkler.
And you know, it's not a finger. Like the end of the finger, like turns into a T-Rex head, like a comical
Yes, or something
cartoon
like
T-Rex
that.
head.
And they're special. They're Tyrannoconus Rex Sunday. And they're just all geared
I've
up.
got that one. That in the other hand.
I like
Yep.
that cut from us about to commit murder to you being like, yeah,
So Adrin,
wicker hat on, shaped
in
like
front
a
of the
T-Rex.
in front of the T-Rex paddock, Adrin is starting to play this up a little bit. Like, since the beginning of time, these giant lizards have fought and evolved and made love and made eggs someday. But here today, you're going to see that we have trained these brutal lizards to perform near mortal combat. And basically,
Is
you
this-
just hear
I
these
have to
two
ask a
giant
question about the
gates
setting.
opening.
Am I like? Is it just me in the stands since they're very low
No,
attendance?
the other two lizards are there.
Okay, cool. But it's still like a pretty empty setting.
Yeah,
And
but
you are
And
enraptured.
Krafina's like the
That's
only
all-
one who's really getting into it, I think.
all the
like, the other
lizards
two
look
lizards
pretty
are kinda cool
excited.
with it?
Yeah, like they've got some raw meat on a stick, and they're just kind of getting excited. Like they want to see some action because they've heard about these T-Rex battles before. And so, as you hear these giant gates opening and the two T-Rexes kind of charge at each other, like it just turns into this melee where they're just headbutting and clawing and like sort of biting. But it's a little bit weird because there's not really any blood. It kind of looks like some sort of like WWE style like fighting.
Okay, I was about to say, Trafina is going to be like, her mood is going to change very quickly if we're dealing with some kind of dinosaur dogfight.
And as the fight gets rougher and like you see trees getting knocked over and the druids are like taking notes about like who's gonna have to fix what later, like one of the dinosaurs actually bites down really hard on the leg of the other one, and it draws a fair bit of blood, and you hear the other dinosaur say, "Shit, Steve, stop it!" And then immediately looks around and then just roars as hard as he can and runs back towards the paddock.
Trafina cheers even harder. Talking dinosaurs! Woo! And I cast a message at Manwith and Hi Buddy, and I'm like, guys, they've got talking dinosaurs. You gotta get over here and see this right now.
And we cut back to Manwith and Hi Buddy.
I think that's
That's gonna be the episode.
yes.
All right, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this, consider checking out our Patreon. $2, $5, $10, and onward. You can support us, get awesome pins, you can get t-shirts, you can get the bonus podcast at any level. It's one of the best things we do, and we will see you guys soon. Have a good day.
Bye.
Goodbye. Remember, if you like what you've been watching, you can become a member over at Patreon right now. The link is right in your face, and you will get all kinds of cool stuff.